Today's 2-minute feature is going to be about equisetum. This is Equisetum arvens, also known as field horsetail. And it has a lot of silica in it, which is great for fighting fungus with your plants in the garden. And if you cut this at about this stage, you can cut it earlier too, and boil some water. And after your water gets to boiling point, turn it off and then throw in these stems and let it sit for 2 hours. And you'll have an antifungal spray for your plants, or water. But it works really good. I'm getting a good shot in here. It's hard for me to see this. That morning sun, I was trying to give you a good shot of what it looks like. When it first comes up, it kind of looks like asparagus. And some people do eat them, but I wouldn't advise it, because they do have a certain level of toxicity to them if you eat too much. But it does have its medical uses, but I'm not going to advise people that way because I'm not a professional on that, and I just know some basics. Topically, you could dry it and use it for blood clotting, like a powder, just to put in your backpack, so if you get cut, while you're out or something, you can just kind of shake it onto the wound. It helps clot it up. But internally, yeah, you want somebody with more experience to advise you on that one. So, anyway, kind of pretty with dew on it. And I don't see any spears. These have all grown up pretty good. So, I hate trying to film while I'm holding the camera because I have unstable hands. So, I don't like to drive everybody crazy. My videos are pretty rotten in that way. But all you do is just snap them off. They snap off pretty easy. I would say probably maybe a pound per gallon of water that you boil. And it doesn't take too long to get a pound. They're not real heavy because they're hollow stemmed, but they do carry some weight. There's a little runoff stream here. Strictly runoff. When it stops raining, it stops flowing. Okay, I'm using a, I think it's a 5-quart pot. You're only putting a gallon of water in there, but you want to have enough space for the equisetum to fit without having to cut it up too much anyway. But anyway, here's my gallon of water. Alrighty, I'm going to come over here, turn it on. I'm going to put it on high, that's not too much. Anyway, you'll see where it's come up on the pot there. It's right there. And get that boiling. Yeah, that's about a pound of equisetum. I put the gallon jug next to it so you'd have a size comparison there. But, it's about 7 inches high. So, give you an idea how much. Tick tock, tick tock. Stand and wait. Watch the boiling pot. Yeah. Oh, you'll notice I have a mix and match house. Everything's mixed and nothing matches. We're waiting still for the water to boil. It's almost there. Finally, we're there. You can see that. You've seen boiling water before, haven't you? Okay, I've turned off the water. It's still down boiling. All you do is just take your plants and toss them in. Okay. I'm not used to doing things one-handed. I'm ambidextrous. Although I do use my right hand more because when I was in school, the teachers used to come by and hit my left hand They didn't think it was right I should be using both hands at once. They come by and say, you can't do that. And I'd look at them and go, I am. Anyway. Never quite understood teachers that wanted to control rather than promote your abilities. Anyhow. Here we go. They're getting in there. They break really easy, especially after they get this size. When they're just out of the ground. They're a little more lumber, plastic, rubber, whatever you want to call it. Alright, so stick all that in there. Punch it down as much as you can. It'll start to break down. And I just put the lid back on. Let it sit for a couple hours. That's that. Alright, well this is what it looks like after it started to break down from the heat, the water. All I do is just go in and kind of punch it down into the water so it keeps breaking down. Like I said, it takes about 2 hours to get all the good stuff out. And then you can throw this into your compost pile, although I would put it in the back because it does hinder bacteria, or not bacteria, fungus. And it is a little bit astringent. So, you don't want it stopping the process of your decomposition. But after it's been in the rain a while, it has its own bacteria that'll break it down, and you can throw it into the rest of the compost. Anyway, you just let it sit under the water. And like I said, all that stuff is that I brought in, that's what's in there now. And about another hour and a half, it's only been a half hour. And I'll just come in and punch it down every now and then, and maybe flip it over, and just let it sit. By then your water should be pretty cool, and then you can just strain it and pour it up. This is not what I would really call a concentrate. If you wanted to do concentrate, you could probably do 2 gallons with maybe 3 to 4, maybe 5 pounds of equisetum. But you need a bigger pot. And I don't know, this seems to work just fine, this level of ratio. So I usually do it this way. But one good thing is you can save this for winter, over winter, by just freezing it. That way when you're starting your seed leaves in the spring, I have a lisp, sorry. Then you can just spray if you start having fungal problems. Actually, I use it as preventative. It's somewhat systemic. The plants will absorb a certain amount of the silica in their system, so that does help. So it's topical and semi-systemic. But it's an alternative to chemicals, and I'm not a fan of chemicals on my food. So, processed chemicals, I'll put it this way. These are natural. Hope you like them.